Hey guys, I just finished filming a really beautiful yoga practice for you guys. I say beautiful because it's left me in quite an amazing but hard to explain state. I'm gonna give it a go. The state that I've been left with is this kind of energized and relaxed at the same time. Now, I know that sounds like a bit of an oxymoron or a contradiction, but the truth is that you're gonna feel after practicing with me, energized but also focused, but also kind of clarified in the mind. I hope. That's the intention anyway. Without further ado, let's get on the mat. So we're going to begin in a Supta Baddha Konasana position. So bring the soles of your feet together and let your knees rest out wide. Lift your hips, tuck your tailbone, walk the shoulder blades down the back, tuck the chin in. Make the adjustments you need to get a nice long spine here. And you can take any option. You can turn the palms to face up at the ceiling, or if you want a little bit more connection to the breath, you can place your hands onto your belly. Just start to notice the breath. Notice it flow through you. Really connect here. Really arrive onto your mat. So I haven't done an intention set in a while in my yoga classes. I thought it would be the perfect day to do so when we're here together, aiming to relax our body. So what I want you to do is bring an intention to mind, but we're going to be specific here. We're going to do two kinds of intentions. The first, I'm going to ask you, what is it that you're going to let go of right now on this mat? What is no longer serving you? Now for me, I'm choosing today to let go of perfectionism. I have an essay to write later, and it's a real creative block for me. When I'm writing, if I have perfectionism constantly coming to the forefront of my mind, I'm always judging the process, and it blocks my ability to write creatively and just write well in general. When I let perfectionism bleed out into other areas of my life as well, it just sort of stops me in my tracks. So today, even here in this asana, Supta Baddha Konasana, I'm choosing to let go of perfectionism and just accept what is. So I want you to bring to mind for yourself, what is it that you want to let go of today? What's no longer serving you? And then the second part of our intention set is, what are you going to welcome into your experience? So I'll start. I'm going to welcome in true focus. Now, when I'm stressed, particularly when I'm riddled with perfectionism, I tend to have this busy mind, as most people do, and I let my focus kind of move from place to place, task to task, because I never really want to settle in on one thing because the perfectionism narrative is uncomfortable to sit with. So I'm going to welcome in focus. When I feel that pull to think somewhere else or to focus my attention elsewhere, I'm just going to relax and come back to the present moment, the only moment that I actually have any control over anyway. So what are you going to welcome in? What are you going to cultivate once you've welcomed it in? That could be strength, it could be love. And we'll take one more deep breath in here, feeling that sense of welcoming in whatever it is that you want for yourself, that you think will support you and serve you. And then as you exhale, choosing to let go of whatever is no longer serving you. So let's do that again twice, even if you're just repeating the words of this intention. So inhale, welcoming in. Exhale, I'm letting go of whatever it is. Alrighty, we've been in this pose for long enough. So let's go ahead, interlace the fingers, extend your arms up above your head, stretch up, lengthen, and then hug the knees into the chest again. So squeeze the knees all the way in. Okay. So we're going to move into a glute bridge. Lubricate the spine, warm up the back of the legs and the hips, which are going to be a big focus of this practice. So feet flat, hip distance apart. Arms by your side, either palms up or palms down, but maintain opening through the chest. Take a deep breath in. As you exhale, curl your spine off the floor by lifting your hips and feel like you're lifting your vertebra off the floor, one vertebra at a time. And then you're going to go ahead and roll it back down. Now, this practice is more fluid, so you're just going to go ahead and do this movement with me. Whether you're staying in time with me or not, doesn't matter. I want you to be focused on yourself. So I'm exhaling to lift up and I'm inhaling to lower back down. And the idea here is to really connect to your body, really feel the sensation of your feet planting into the floor, really feel your hamstrings and your glutes activate, feel your spine peel off, feel your core have to activate to move your pelvis and move your spine. The point of this particular vinyasa because we are breathing at the same time, is to connect us into the body. So the breath and the movement and doing those in sync is what helps our mind to connect to our body with full focus. Alrighty. From here, lower the spine back down to the floor, hug the knees into the chest. Rock up and down the spine a couple of times until you can rock all the way up to a seated position for Baddha Konasana. Now we're going to bring the soles of the feet together again. If you would like to sit on a block, you can do so to raise your hips. If you're feeling a little bit tight today, this is a really nice variation to take. Now from here, you're going to take a deep breath in and then exhale, fold forward over the legs. So if your heels are too close to your hips, you're going to find that this is really intense on the groin. But for this variation, I'd like you more to kind of go into that sort of lengthening of your spine here. So feeling as though there's this rounding of your back musculature. Take a deep breath in here. Feel the back of the body expand as you inhale. And as you exhale, melt into it more. Just check in. Find out, is there any tension in your jaw, your face, your hips? Like, where are you carrying that tension? Find those nooks and crannies and then choose to relax. Choose to let that tension go. Okay, unroll back up. Take the hands down by your side. Turn the fingers to face outward and plant the feet back onto the floor, hip distance apart. Now, some of you may want to put your hands on a block. It depends on your shoulder mobility here and your leg strength. Take a deep breath in, and as you exhale, I want you to lift your hips off the floor for a tabletop position. Inhale, lower back down. Exhale, lift up. Inhale, lower down. Exhale, lift back up. Inhale, lower down. Perfect. Cross the legs in, reach your arms forward and pull yourself forward into a nice wide child's pose. So feet together, knees out nice and wide. Arms extended forward, forehead relaxes down either onto the floor, onto a block, or you can stack your hands, resting your forehead on the back of your hands. Go ahead and close your eyes, and I'm just going to bring you back to your intention. As you inhale, what are you welcoming in? As you exhale, what are you letting go of? So just feeling that sensation with the breath, even if it's just in your imagination, right? So feeling if it was that you wanted to welcome in a sense of self-love or love for your body, like what does that feel like on the inhalation? And on the exhalation, what does it feel like to let go of the things that are no longer serving you? I can tell you right now that it feels friggin' awesome to let go of perfectionism and to just kind of be me, full acceptance in the moment now. Alrighty, let's pull forward into an all fours position onto the hands and knees. Spread the fingers nice and wide, making sure that you're pressing into the thumb and index finger here when we move into downward facing dog in a second. Okay, not yet, but in a second. That's really key. If you start to peel over to the sides, you may start to load into the wrists in a bad way, which will then essentially lead to wrist problems down the track, okay? Knees hip distance apart, tuck the toes, take a deep breath in here, and as you exhale, push yourself back into downward facing dog, literally like a dog stretching in downward facing dog. So have that sense of moving into a posture for the intention of releasing tension in your body. Not just like, I have to make this shape perfectly, right? Okay, I'm probably projecting my my intention onto you guys now. But it's really important that we remember the intent of each pose when we come into it. So in downward facing dog, just go ahead, walk out your heels, shake out the head, yes and no. Breathe here deeply, inhaling and exhaling. Okay. As we move through this practice, I'm going to speak less and less because I want you to cultivate your own internal sensation and experience of each posture. Inhale and exhale. Okay. Inhale, come forward into a high plank position. Firm up your legs. Draw your belly button in, tuck your tailbone towards your heels and feel your glutes squeeze. Pull your lower ribs in, so feel like they're hugging towards your spine. Draw the shoulders away from the ears. Tuck the chin in and hold this beautiful high plank position. Push the floor away, spreading the shoulder blades across your back. So really strong pose here. Hold this plank. I would like to build a little bit of heat in the body. Breathing in and breathing out. Okay. You want to keep this firm strength throughout your body as we move down through to chaturanga. If you need to lower your knees, go ahead and do so. As you exhale, elbows shave the sides of the body, come down, chest leads towards the floor, chaturanga dandasana. Good. Keeping the shoulder blades drawn down and back. Let your entire body come down to the floor now. Release the tops of the feet. Hug the shoulder blades together and lift your chest off, squeezing into cobra position. Feeling that back musculature activate to lift your chest. Now, if you're going to go for upward facing dog, push into the hands and the tops of the feet to lift your knees, hips, and thighs off. Hold here. Now, open up through the chest. Don't just drop your head back and crank into your neck, but actually feel as though the head is just an extension of the spine here, opening through the chest. Beautiful. And release back to downward facing dog as you need to. Good. Shake out your head, yes and no. Relax your jaw. Let's take a little bit more of vinyasa for that to really keep that brain-body connection or mind-body connection. So inhale, pull forward, high plank position. Exhale, lower down as you wish, chaturanga dandasana. Inhale, either cobra pose or upward facing dog, opening through the chest, and then exhale back to downward facing dog. Let's go again. Inhale, bring it forward. Exhale, lower down. Inhale, cobra or upward facing dog, and then exhale back to downward facing dog. All right, bend your knees, look forward, and just walk the feet up to the hands and come and hang out in a forward fold here. Take hold of either elbow and just shake out your head, yes and no. Back of the neck relaxes. Feet are hip distance apart. Just hold it here. Good. Swing your body from side to side. Okay, let's come back to that intention. Sometimes when we come into a forward fold, like the intensity of our hamstring tightness, maybe our lower back, maybe our neck starts to creep up and we lose focus. We lose attention to what we came here for. So how can you let go of what's no longer serving you while also welcoming in stuff in, and all in all, just choosing to relax and melt into this pose as best as possible. Alrighty, place your hands onto your shins, or if that's not available to you, you can place your hands onto your blocks. And we're going to inhale, come into the halfway lift here. So aiming to straighten the legs, really working to flatten the back and just improving that hip flexion here, lengthening forward. Now exhale, I'm going to move deeper into the forward fold. Maybe I'm going to grab my legs and hug in. Now inhale, I'm going to lengthen, halfway lift. Exhale, I'm going to fold deeper into the forward fold. Okay. Coming back into our Uttanasana position. If you're not at the top of your mat, go ahead and move there. Now from here, we're going to inhale and step the left leg back into a long lunge. Now just sink here into the long lunge, but don't let the knee come down to the floor. So just stay high. Fingertips are on either side of that front leg. And I just want you to make sure that the knee is directly over the ankle and really extend through that back leg. Okay, just hold it here, breathing, feel the legs firm up to hold you here. We're going to take a deep breath in, and as you do, lower the back knee down to the floor. Exhale, front leg straightens. We're going to move into Ardha Hanumanasana. So the front leg starts to straighten, our body folds forward over that leg, bending and rounding. Inhale, we're going to come forward again, sinking through the hips, opening through the heart into a kneeling lunge here, open through the chest. Exhale, Ardha Hanuman, folding forward. Inhale, come back into the lunge, open through the chest. Exhale, Ardha Hanuman, folding forward. Good, we're going to hold here for 3 breaths. Move your hands into a comfortable position so that you can move a little deeper into the pose. And just watch what's happening to your right toes. Are they moving over to the left or to the right? Just make sure that they're pointing directly up to the ceiling as you let your body release down deeper into this posture. Good. Inhale, come back into your kneeling lunge. Lift the back knee off the floor and step the left foot to meet the right foot. Halfway lift, inhale. Exhale, fold forward, Uttanasana. Fingertips stay on the floor. We're stepping the right leg back this time into a long lunge. Stay up high. Yeah, so keeping your hands on the floor, strong legs, but don't drop that knee just yet. Just give your body time to come into this position, and we want it to be active initially. Good. Holding here. Lower the back knee down to the floor. Inhale, open up through the chest. Exhale, Ardha Hanumanasana. So folding forward, front leg straightens. Allow your shoulders to relax. Inhale, lengthen forward. Exhale, back into Ardha Hanuman. Inhale into the kneeling lunge. Exhale, Ardha Hanuman, folding forward here, holding for our 3 breaths. What is the quality of your breathing right now? We want to ensure that the inhalation is long, slow, and deep, and the same for the exhalation, if not a little bit slower. Relax your face. Relax your body. Alrighty. Inhale, come back into the lunge. And then this time, exhale, step back into downward facing dog. Walk out through the heels, open up through the back of the legs. Just notice how your body's starting to feel now. Okay, drop the knees down to the floor and come into a kneeling position. We're going to move into camel pose. Yes, it's a back bend. And no, I wouldn't ideally do it in a calming practice, but this is also about stretching and opening us up. I want you to feel calm, but also energized. So from here, you're going to come into a high kneeling position here. So lift your hips off your heels. Bring your hands onto your hips, tuck your tailbone, and physically feel like the front bones of your pelvis kind of move backwards. So what that means is your pubic bone will kind of stick out forward a little bit more. Your glutes will squeeze and your tailbone's now kind of lengthening towards your knees. Now keep your hands on your hips here for a second. If you'd like to, go ahead and tuck your toes so that your heels are higher. You can also use the blocks either side of your legs here. We're going to start to lift the chest as though we're being pulled by a piece of string from our sternum up towards the sky here, lengthening up first. Now, don't forget that posterior pelvic tilt. So I still want you to have a tailbone tucking as you're lengthening upwards. Good. Now from here, if you can, reach back for the blocks or for your heels. Continue to lift the chest up, but continue to tuck your tailbone. Glutes are squeezed to protect your lower back and sacrum in this position. Keep the heart opening. Lengthen here. Don't just drop the head back. Feel as though it's a conscious extension of the rest of your spine. Beautiful. Now from here, one hand at a time comes back to the hips, and we go ahead and we sit our hips back down to our heels. Perfect. Hands come forward, stretch back into downward facing dog, open up through the back of the legs. Beautiful. And we'll neutralize that back bend with some hip opening work here in pigeon. So go ahead and bring that right knee to the back of the right wrist. Right foot is going to be next to your left hip, moving into pigeon pose. Open up through the chest here first. So create a bit of a true pigeon pose. So this kind of puffed up chest, opening up, take a deep breath in, and then exhale, go ahead and fold forward. If you're feeling any twinginess in the front knee, in that right knee, then you've gone too far. So make any adjustments you need to. And if it's too much altogether, then don't take this pose at all. Also, just watch out if you're flipping over to one side, particularly the right side. Grab your block and place it under your hips if that's the case. Now you can use the other block to rest your forehead down. And I'd like you to do that, or stack your forearms and rest your forehead on the back of your hands, so that we get this relaxation in the back of the neck and we can fully relax here in this pigeon pose. We're going to take a few deep breaths here. So while you're here, again, what would you like to welcome in, and what are you letting go of that's no longer serving you? Feel as though you could draw it in on the inhale and let it go on the exhale. Everything in our universe begins with intention. So even if it feels silly to be sort of imagining yourself welcoming something in and letting go of something, the truth of the matter is that your intention is really powerful, and it starts to then impact the actual physical reality of the rest of your life. So you have to start with the intention of letting go whatever no longer serves you. You also have to start with the intention to welcome in what it is that you want. Take one more deep breath in here. Release a full breath out. Beautiful. All right, just come to sit up here, and we're going to shift our body over to just the right side. The left leg is extended back behind you, and I'm actually going to face you guys now. So you're going to be facing side on. We're going to adjust so that the right foot is at the inner left thigh, or actually it's more like it's in your groin. But we're in a sort of open Janushirshasana position, or prep position. And my left hand is going to come to the right thigh, right up close to my hip, and my right arm is going to reach up and over. I'm going to bend over to the side. Beautiful side stretch here. Commonly neglected area. So I just love this. If your hamstring's really tight, don't worry. Let your left knee bend. The main focus here is getting a nice side stretch. Beautiful. Bring it back up to center, take your hands down to the floor, and just step back into downward facing dog. We're gonna just reset everything, reset our breath with a bit of vinyasa. So inhale, come forward, high push up, lower down as you exhale, inhale, cobra or upward facing dog, exhale back to downward facing. Beautiful. Okay, so now let's go left knee, left wrist, left foot, right hip, pigeon pose on the left side. Make your adjustments. Let's get nice and long here. The back leg moves further back behind you. You're nice and open through the chest here. Big inhale in and a full exhale out. Folding forward, making the adjustments you need to, and allowing yourself to kind of be teetering on this edge of intensity, but also an ability to relax here. Use the breath to keep you focused. Inhaling and exhaling. Okay, lifting yourself back up. And from here, we shift our body onto the side. I'll show you from the back view. I'm going to take my right hand and place it on my left thigh. And then going to take a deep breath in, and that left arm is going to reach up and over that right leg. Doesn't matter what the right knee is doing. If you have the flexibility, of course, keep it straight, but don't worry if it bends slightly. Try to stay as open and side stretching as you possibly can. The temptation will be to obviously tip over and take the easiest route, but try to stay open to the side, stretching out your QL, your quadratus lumborum. Alrighty, lifting back up to center. Beautiful. Take your hands to the floor and just go ahead, step back into downward facing dog. Open up through the back of the legs. Shake out your head, yes and no. Bend your knees, look forward, and just come into a cross-legged position at the top of your mat. Hug the knees into the chest and roll onto your back. We're going to come into a Garudasana twist. This is one of my favorite twists, particularly because there's a lot of compression going on in the belly, and that can be really massaging for those internal digestive organs. So we're going to cross the right leg over the left, like you would in Garudasana. And then from there, we're going to take our legs over to the left side. So cross right leg over left, and then take the legs over to the left side. Now, take your left hand and just hold your knee in place, and then slowly start to extend the right shoulder, right arm out to the side. So we want to feel like we're relaxing through the stomach area and allowing ourselves to kind of compress through that area. You feel a nice stretch for your hips maybe. We just want to open into this twist. Take a deep breath in. Release a full breath out. We're almost at the end, guys. You've done really well. All right, come back to center. We'll change sides. So cross left leg over right leg, and then bring your legs over to the right side. Hand comes to the outside. And then open up through the chest and allow that left shoulder to come down to the floor. Relaxing through your stomach, your face, your jaw. Everything just relaxes here. Soften through the chest. Melt. Breathe. Good. Bring yourself back to center using the strength of your core. Uncross the legs, hug the knees in towards your chest, and then let's go ahead and take Shavasana together. So the temptation might be to skip Shavasana, but it's such a beneficial practice. Relaxation, corpse pose, where we can truly allow things to die away, the things that are no longer serving us. So extend your legs out, palms face up at the ceiling, walk the shoulder blades down the back. If you need to, or if you want to even, place a cushion underneath your knees, and it just takes the pressure off your lower back, particularly for those of you that might get a bit of a funky back after you practice or just in general. Alrighty, go ahead and close your eyes. Relax your feet. Bring attention into your feet right now and relax your ankles. Move the attention into your shins, your knees, your thighs, your hips. Feel them relax. Feel those muscles let go. Move awareness into your pelvis, your lower back, middle back, upper back, back of the neck. Feel your entire spine and your head melt into the floor as you exhale. Move awareness into the shoulder blades. Feel them connected to the floor, and feel this warm sensation spread from the shoulder blades down to the back of the arms, elbows, forearms, wrists, palms of the hands. Bring awareness into your chest, upper abdomen, middle abdomen, and lower abdomen, pelvis. Relax. Bring attention to your face and let all expression, every emotion you've ever experienced, both good, bad, mad, sad, let it all relax away from you. Allow your body, your face to be neutral, non-reactive, calm, accepting. Breathe and relax. Take a deep breath in. Release a full breath out. Interlace your fingers. Extend your arms up above your head. Point your toes. Stretch out. Hug the knees into the chest. Squeeze the knees in. And just rock up to a comfortable seated position. Bring the palms together at your heart center, gently bowing your head, fingertips come in between the eyebrows. Thank you so much for practicing with me today. I hope you found that relaxing, enjoyable. Namaste.